So module bundlers. So this is one of the very biggest maybe pull up my screen. So you can have some like one day presentation which I prepared for you guys. So okay, stop this. I think some issues. Okay. So module bundlers. Okay. So module bundlers, or can call them JavaScript bundlers, is one of the most kind of crucial thing when it comes to development, not production. So the different things. Okay. So when it comes to any JavaScript library library framework, module bundlers is one of the core concepts which you have to understand. Okay. Mostly they try to hide from you. Like for example, in React, you don't actually focus on body bundlers, but for you to actually get into React, advanced JavaScript knowledge, you have to understand body bundlers. Okay, so what are body bundlers? A body bundler is a tool that makes a piece of JavaScript. Okay, that takes a piece of JavaScript and its dependencies. Okay, and bundles them to a single file. Okay? So and the major common use of body bundlers is to be used for the web or for the browser. Uh, for information, browsers understand just a very few formats. For example, the browsers don't understand TypeScript. Browsers don't understand Python. Browsers don't understand C Sharp. Browsers only understand three major things: JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Things like SAS, things like Lace, okay, things like React. The browser does not understand any of those. Okay, don't understand HTML, CSS, JavaScript, some images maybe like PNGs, uh, SVGs, JPEG, GIF, and some few other formats of images. Maybe also some MP4. Those are modern browsers, but most browsers understand three: JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And that's why the reason why we use bundlers is what I was explaining. Since we are working with many different libraries, dependencies, we need to somehow they need to somehow work together. Okay, like work in conjunction very well. Okay, that's why we need bundlers. Okay, and the body bundler simply converts our TypeScript, our React, our Vue, our Split, and any other library. Okay, to common JS. Okay, so common JS is the what you call vanilla JS. Things like let this equals this function, like those normal kind of straightforward JavaScript that you understood from the beginning. But when you're developing, writing JavaScript can get a bit hectic, can get a bit kind of too much, can get too much bloated. That's why libraries exist. That's why frameworks exist to make the development work easy. Okay, but in production, you always use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Maybe other images, but other things they do not work in the browser. Okay, that means once you understand JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, you are fully a web developer. Okay, you are fully a front-end developer. Okay, other things can come later, but once you understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you automatically are a web developer. Okay, not entirely A developer, rather, a web developer, you deal with the web. You deal with works for the browser. Okay. So some common examples of bundlers that we use, that most developers around the world use, are something like Webpack. I hope some of you had heard of like Webpack before. Uh, Rollup, okay. There's Parcel Bundler, there's Snowpack, there even other small bundlers, but the major players, the top players, those are the top players. And of course, Webpack is still the lead number of use cases, because I think Webpack gives you more configuration to deal with maybe different assets, different with different types of files. Okay, Rollup is a bit kind of hard to work with. Paso is actually one of the easiest to work with. Snowpack is a new player, and it uses a different technology which deals with caching your files, allowing you to do fast development. But in our case, we are going to look at all of them. I want to look at actually Webpack, Paso, and Snowpack, just to see how they work. But at the end of the whole thing, uh, under the hood for React, we're going to be at React. React, most of the CLIs and most of the CLIs they usually use are Webpack, okay, because Webpack has a very robust configuration module. Okay? Others like Paso works, but it doesn't have that robustity of Webpack. Okay? So how do bundlers work? I think I've been explaining it from the beginning. They simply take your files, your JS files, your TypeScript files, your SAS, your LESS, your JPEGs, your anything, as long as want to use it in your project. Okay, like even MD files, all the files will be converted to JS, CSS, JPEG, PNG, and maybe another thing like maybe SVG. Okay, but mostly it handles those three things. Okay, simply converts all your CSS, all your all your SAS, all your TypeScript into into CommonJS. We have also been looking at something called TSC, or TypeScript compiler. It's a compiler rather than a bundler. Okay, so a compiler simply changes. Okay, so bundlers work in conjunction with transpilers and compilers to convert all your assets. Okay, HTML, everything into browser ready files. Okay, so bundlers simply make just make your files, your project ready for production, and also help out in development. So, so before actually we get into actually using a bundler, okay, and how it's gonna be helpful in our project, because we'll be dealing with libraries and dependencies and importing this, exporting this, downloading this, okay, adding this to our project. So before we actually begin, does any of you have anything like you would want to say, you would want to add on, anything that you feel like, okay, you know what, please Eric, talk about this. Yes, so I'll give you like 1 minute, then while it's putting up VS Code uh, to, to, to ask questions. So if you have no questions or queries, just thumbs up in the chat so at least we can continue. Okay. Okay. So let me pull up a VS Code very quick because that's what we're gonna be using. Okay. So hope you can see my screen. Okay. So this, remember, we are using the same Git repository. That means I'm using the same folder to for almost all the different basics. So I think I'll create another branch here. Git branch. After just use checkout here. Checkout. So checkout changes a branch. Then you can add dash b. Remember I told you guys before, we are going to have Git throughout the whole project. That means sometimes I may just randomly talk about Git, but remember, Git has to incorporate within our workflow. So that's why I'm like, if I say something, just note it in your mind. So Git checkout dash b creates a branch and then checks it out to that branch. Okay. So before that, I want to check out main because I think I have a main branch, which is okay. This first. It's all right. Let me see. This is an empty one. Okay, this is fine. So I'm going to, from the main, I'm going to git checkout uh, dash b. I'll call it, let me see, I'll call it body bundlers. Okay, module bundlers with an N. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as it is. Of course, there's some issues happening here. That's all right. I'm going to leave everything as is here. What I'm going to, as I told before, I'm going to look at the three major uh, bundlers. But before we actually look at bundlers and how they work, uh, I want, because remember the first assignment which I passed on was to create a package. And let me see, put this up real quick a minute. Okay, so the very first assignment that I passed on was how to create a package in JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay, so what an edit file is a module, okay, but to make a whole package, okay, or rather a package in, in JavaScript, okay, there's so many different ways, okay, but the best way for us to create to make sure that our project is being tracked, okay, rather it can be a package here, it's a package, okay, or rather it's a project, rather you call it a project sometimes or a package, okay. The best way is to run, if you're using because remember we installed Node in our machine, we installed Node, so I have Node dash version. Okay, we also installed npm. Npm comes with Node, okay, so we're going to use npm. And npm, as I said before, is called Node Package Manager. Okay, it allows us to download dependencies or packages from the official website of npm. Yeah, not actually official. It allows us to download websites online, packages online to use inside our work. Okay, or libraries. So for now, the first command which I have to use, let me this up. Let me don't need this also safety. Okay. So the very first command I will run that allows us to create a project or a node project or a JavaScript project or a package is npm int okay, npm init, just like git init. Okay, so npm init initializes that folder. So our folder is called TypeScript Basics. Okay, this folder here to be a project or a package. Okay, so I'll say npm init, and ask me a bunch of questions. Okay, so it will be here. Okay, let us get rid of this. Okay, so tell me. Okay, uh, npm init and other stuff. Okay, npm install afterwards to install a package and save it as dependencies in your package. So this npm init creates for us a package, okay, or a project like the way we did we created TS init for creating a TypeScript project or package or to track the whole thing. When you do npm init, it makes sure that you have a project in JavaScript that's being tracked. Okay, so in my case, I would say the package name is okay. I can say the module dash balance. Okay, very simple like that. Okay, the version because version 1, so I will leave it be version 1. Description, I can say module balance. Okay, that's about what you give it. Okay. Then entry point, you can leave it to be empty. I can say my entry point is index.ts in my case. Okay. Then the command for testing, for now you can leave it to be empty. Okay. But because you haven't yet looked at testing. Okay. Then the Git repository, because since I've already added my file, my folder over to GitHub, it gives me the same repository. Okay, so I'll say, of course, with the same repository, keywords, maybe I can say dots. Yeah, but okay, what you put, what you put. Then the author, of course, the author is Eric. And license, I think I'll use MIT for now. There are different licenses, but I prefer MIT. Okay. Then they give me like an object. Well, I can see this looks like a JavaScript object, okay, or JSON data showing me what will be created, okay. Then I can say everything is okay. Yes, everything is okay. Yes. Then when I finish creating, running the commands, it will give me, it will create for me this code, this file called package.json, okay. And remember last time we when we ran a command called tsc -init, we created a what? A TypeScript project. Okay, so if I do, because right now we're also dealing with TypeScript, that's why I would also go and do tsc init. Okay, to create for ourselves a TypeScript project. Okay, so of course it will create for me. Okay, what happened? Okay, so it's supposed to be tsc -init. Okay, but create for me the type tsconfig.json. Okay, so they're different. Okay, for tsconfig.json it is for TypeScript. Okay, and package.json is for JavaScript or for Node for managing our Node modules. Okay, so for here I'm just going to clean up for TypeScript config because let's leave it the way it is. Okay, I want to clean it up. I'll leave it the way it is just to save time. So after doing that, okay, after creating our package, let's see the question. After creating our package or our module, no matter what the name, okay, but it's a package. Okay, so creating our package, you can see it has different things. It has a name, a version, a description, the main or the entry point, then something called scripts. Okay, we are going to look at these scripts later on. Okay, then of course repository. These are actually self-explanatory. Repository name. Okay, the keywords, put the keywords. For example, if I publish this package online, I can search. I can use the like a search engine to search for dots, and they can give me maybe something. Okay, I can put something and say random stuff. Okay, and there of course have been quotes because we are using it's just a JSON file. Same thing is in quotes, okay, apart from true and false, okay, apart from booleans and numbers, but everything else is in quotes, which is strings, okay. So of course the author, the license, okay, then the bags, because I've initialized as a Git repository, that's why they're giving me the bags and stuff. Also the home repository because I've initialized, I've added Git to it, okay. But in your case, if you don't add Git, you may not find this other different, maybe like bags, maybe repository, okay. It will be different from you, okay, from what you choose, okay. So since you have already created this, okay, we can now decide to uh, so we can decide to to install packages, okay, or to install different packages, okay. So before actually we start installing different packages, uh, different different bundlers have a different way of approach, okay, and different bundlers have different files which they need to be like different libraries or different dependencies which need to be downloaded, okay. So for example, in my case, since we are using I'm going to be using, I'm going to look at all of them, okay. Maybe I'll create a folder, I'll call it no, I'll leave it the way it is, okay. I'll go ahead and open up my browser because my browser, where is it? Yeah, okay. And I'll search for Webpack. Let's start with the common used bundler. Okay, so I'll go ahead and search for Webpack. So type here, search for Webpack. Okay, that should show you maybe your case how you get excited. Okay, so you can go to Webpack js.org. Let me just share the link with you guys. So webpack.config.org, and you can, of course, they'll tell you how things work, okay. For example, write your code, okay, it gets compiled, okay, bother it, they explain things out, okay, and they tell you when it comes to Webpack you need something called a Webpack config, okay, Webpack config.js file, okay, but for now we don't need that Webpack config.js file, don't mind it, okay, we don't need it for now. But you can just simply click on documentation and simply look at different things. Okay, Webpack is quite a humongous thing. It's quite big. Okay, and sometimes can get overwhelming to use. But for simplicity, let's use what comes just on the front page. Okay, landing page of Webpack. So let me just maybe copy the same things and paste them inside my code, and then also install Webpack. Okay, so I simply go ahead and I'll copy this up, okay? Copy this up, okay? Then I will head over to my file, so to my folder, go to VS Code. Then I'll create something called Webpack, Webpack dot config dot js, okay? And the moment you create Webpack dot config.js, okay? If you're using VS Code, of course you can see it shows you like a different icon. Showing, you can see the icon here. I hope you can see the icon. Okay, this icon showing you that it's now it's recognized as a config file. Okay, so I just paste the code which I copied from there. Okay, so in here they will tell you some few things. Like for example, if you look at what I've copied, it's having something called require. Require is the common JS of importing. Okay, so I can say const path equals require. Require is already is inbuilt in Node. It comes inbuilt with Node. It comes available for us to use in Node. So I don't need to install it. Okay, and also after doing that, you create what you call a modules to exports. So module to exports means the same thing as I just put here. Same as export. Okay, together. This is the same as import. Okay. same as import path from path. Okay. I think I explained what this means. Okay, but if you have an issue with this, don't worry. We're also going to look at this as we're going on, okay, through the whole course. Okay, so this is the same as this same thing, okay, and that's why they give this to those annotated file is common JS file. It may be converted to this, and if I try to say convert, it will convert this, okay. But by now, that was resolved, okay. And same thing about okay, the path. Okay? So here is change, okay. So after that, after importing path of requiring path from path, you go ahead and add an entry, or what's gonna be like we're going to track our files. In our case, I'm just going to say ts, okay, dot slash yes is ts by now, because if I use ts, I would have to go ahead and add more things to it, okay. But for now, let's just use ts, okay, and output, you can output this. The entry point is where you're going to have like the root file, okay, which is going to be tracked, where everything is coming into place, okay. So the output is what will be outputted later on, okay. For example, it will go ahead and input from index, then output from the folder called dist, okay. Classic path resolve, then the dir name, okay, it's like a directory, which is dist, then the file name is bundle, okay, .js. I can change it to let's say to app, okay, .js. Okay. So, and this is like the very basic configuration of Webpack. But later on, we're going to look at a more complex configuration of Webpack. Okay, while it's beginning doing React and having more modules to add it. Okay, so with this now, I can go ahead and create, let me say, an index.html page. Okay, HTML page. Okay. Then I will, of course, add a structure. Then it's about script tag, script here, script. Like the way we did with TypeScript, I'll link it to a different file which will be created for us, which is script. Script here, script, okay. Script equals here. So I'm going to link to 2, because if you look at our Webpack, it's leading us to this /app. Okay, so I'll come back to my HTML, this b2, dot slash dist, okay, slash app dot js. Okay, I know it's a bit confusing by now, but bear with me. This is important because we are going to have to deal with packages and importing modules and installing things, okay, onto our machine. Yes, okay. So now I am having this file, okay. So now let's begin installing things, okay, and using things out, okay. So because with my entry point in our case it is JS. So I'm going to use JS. Okay, I want to use TS by now because it's just an example. So I'll use with a folder called src, because as the entry point is src, and then inside src I create an index dot JS file, okay. Not TS by now because when it comes to TS I have to add more configurations which I don't want to, okay. And it's okay. So by now just delete the TS config. Okay? Look at that later on. Okay. So with now, since I've already configured my folder structure, everything works just the way I want it. Okay. So now let me install Webpack. Okay. So to install a package or a module or a dependency in JavaScript or TypeScript or whatever, rather in Node. Okay. Simply you do npm. Those who have used yarn before maybe no. Okay, but for npm is npm install. Then I will install maybe web. Okay, it will take some time because it's quite a large file. Okay? It's quite a large file, and it will take some time to install. But as it's installing, okay, let me take some questions. Then we can get the next part. Okay. So to take some time to what to install. So ask questions for what I've said, so at least we can we can help you out if you have any issues. Okay, it's taking quite a long time to finish. Where is it here? Okay. It's about to finish. Okay, and perfect. Okay, perfect. So now one other thing we should install. We need to install the Webpack CLI. Okay, so since we already install Webpack is just a library to bundle. Okay, so we need some command line interface or some tool to help us with running Webpack. Okay, so and what we're going to start up the code Webpack -CLI. Okay, so Webpack CLI simply helps us to run Webpack commands. Okay, so we're going to look at how you can run Webpack in a minute. Okay, so it will take some time also. So I'm also taking questions. Questions. If you have questions, please ask. Okay. John is asking, what is the best installation? The best installation is always local. You always have it's always better to install any dependency on your local machine or on a folder rather than installing it globally. Because when it comes to updating them, if your dependency is having kind of having errors, like maybe between they're conflicting. Okay, maybe you have TypeScript 2.2, then you have maybe TypeScript 3.3. If they have some things which are having issues, then of course you of course have conflicts and you end up not working. But when you install it on a folder, because when it comes to JavaScript, you don't have to have an environment to activate all this and this. Okay, once you get a folder, automatically that folder becomes your package. Okay, becomes your environment. Okay, and our environment usually, if you check, because right now VS Code tries to hide your node modules. Okay, because they become quite big and hectic to always sit there. But if I run ls, from the way we have finished downloading Webpack and all this. Okay, this folder called node modules. Okay, you can see VS Code will show it. Okay, here. Okay, but in reality, there's a folder called node modules. Okay, and maybe just open this. Can I open this up? Let's say cd node modules. Okay, then check some other file and see. See, this our node modules contains all these different folders. Let me just maybe increase this and remove this this sidebar. Okay, so you can see inside our node modules we're having Webpack CLI, we're having all these different libraries which are dependencies of Webpack. Like maybe we have Acorn, we have ANSI colors, we have Clone Deep, we have all this, but all these are JavaScript dependencies which help Webpack to run. Okay, and we have something called Clone Deep, which is also one dependency which helps us to convert to transpile. Okay, so after us even you see you have something called electron to chromium. So all this help us to compile. Okay, and because node modules can get a bit very big, because it can get overwhelming, because everything has to run locally on the machine, has to run in the same folder. So you find your folder has quite a lot of what of like it takes like maybe like 100 MBs. Okay, and you have only like 2 files. Okay, so the best way is always maybe to it's always try to ignore some files. Okay, this code ignore as modules. Also have to add a get ignore file inside your node modules, right, inside your project to avoid pushing that very big folder to node modules. Okay? To avoid node modules. Okay? To avoid pushing that very big folder, because you see all these folders, all these files, okay, they are good for development. When it comes to production, the server will handle this, okay? Like some platforms will handle this, things like Notify, things like even GitHub pages, sometimes they can also handle them, things like Transfer, they can handle installing this on their servers, okay? So you don't have to worry with installing it online. That's like one of you of avoiding to have a very big repository, okay? So I recommend create a 5, then include this node modules. As can I create a project without having to always download package online? Yeah. Yes. Yes, you can. Okay, you can have your project without actually downloading anything. It's simply using JavaScript, HTML, CSS. But packages are there to help you work faster. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to to avoid
Uh,
them. Okay. Yes, Tiger.
what
Yes, yes.
I wanted to ask, what if I do npm install express? Is it
Hey, yeah. So Express is a library which is used for what for creating for backend. Okay, so it creates a server. Okay, so it's Express is not a front end framework, but it's a back end framework. Okay, so there are different libraries. Okay, there are very many. Actually, if you check npm npm let's open this up real for you. So if you open up npmjs.com and search, we have let me see, we have there's so many libraries. Let me see, libraries. So maybe if I search any, maybe search any library, maybe Express, okay? Express. As you are searching, Express, you can see it has a lot of, like, you have 2,000 to 3,000 packages found, okay? So there are different packages, okay? All this. If I search, maybe search for React, okay? Just React only, not React. There are almost close to 158,000 packages, okay, which are available for using React, okay. So there are different packages, okay, but there are some prominent packages which are being used on the market. Things like React, things like Vue, things like Blade, things like Angular, okay, things like Express. But Express is for the backend, okay. So if you want to explore into the backend and maybe deal with servers and all that, you can look at Express, okay. But since we are looking at front end for the first half of this course, we are going to be looking at React, not at Express. Okay, so that's why I'm installing Webpack because I need Webpack to bundle uh, different things. Okay, so Express is also a library, but it's what is for backend. Okay, so after let me continue where I stop because after installing Webpack, actually before I continue, I think I made a mistake somewhere here. We had installed Webpack as a dev dependency, okay? So let's install Webpack. Let's say npm install Webpack -d, okay? So install it as a dev dependency, okay? But for now, since I already made a mistake already, I'll just continue because it works the same way. Because right now I'm not going to 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 have this in production. That's why I don't have to worry about Webpack being installed on my server. But for now, since I already installed a Webpack already, as a dependency. But in your case, if you're installing Webpack, please install it as a dev dependency. Just install npm install webpack -d. Same thing with CLI, okay? So you can say install webpack, even webpack, it was webpack -CLI, okay? So if you're installing, please install using this, okay? Because Webpack is only being used in development, not in production. That's why we install it as a dev dependency. Okay, so we're going to be exploring this while doing React, because this is also part of the React setup. So we don't worry, we're going to be looking at things like npm install, npm remove, npm uninstall, npm install, npm upgrade, all that. Okay, all those different things. Okay, so but for now, since I already installed npm, remember I told you guys we're going to look at this thing called scripts. Okay, scripts later on. Okay, so scripts, these are a bunch of commands. Like for example, if I come here and run something, these are a bunch of commands which are available to be run in by npm. Okay, for example, if I come and run this command called test, I can say npm run test. Okay, and test, it will echo out this one. Okay, to echo out okay, some things. I don't know why it's saying it's supposed to be npm test. Okay, so you see, of course, now that take me echo. Okay, this command called echo. Okay, error, no test specified, and exit at what. Okay, so it says error, no test specified. Okay, so what I can do is maybe I can say, instead of doing this, just echo out something. So say echo out, maybe echo out testing. Okay, so this. Okay, so I can run this and to run. I see it's echoing out testing. So it's echo out means it's just outputting testing. Okay, so echo is also a keyword. Also, I think echo is available in PHP, but just echo simply output something. Okay, so Pada would be using test because test we haven't yet looked at testing, but I'm going to look at something that something called start. Okay, start. Okay. Start is is it's just like a word called start. Okay, it's a command. Okay, you can actually name it anything. I say maybe Angel, maybe Stella. Okay, and then you can run npm run start. Okay, run Stella. Okay, but in our case, to make things easy, npm and node provide something called start. Okay, start is because you can run. You see, I can run npm test instead of running saying npm run test. I can run npm test because test is already defined somewhere, and no npm knows that test is available. Okay, so it's not a custom command. Okay, so they're available for you inside what inside npm. Okay, and you can give it whatever you want to give it. Okay, so I will say npm start, then I will say I want to run a command called webpack. Okay, just that. Okay, webpack. Okay, and when I say npm npm start. Okay, we're gonna say npm start. Okay, it will start webpack. Okay, so it will say this was quite fast. Okay, but you can see it says warning configuration. The mode option has been set. We fall back to production. Okay, and I say set development production. Okay, they're telling you how to set up webpack. Okay, in my case, since I already know, I can come and I say webpack dash mode. Okay, development. Okay, because I think I already read the documentation already, so I know. Okay, so but in your case, they would ask you to read the documentation. Okay, so if I say webpack dash mode and development, around this like that start, it will run development. It's run development, but it's all right because we haven't looked at the watch mode. Okay, because it also has a watch mode. Okay, and if you look at back to our folder structure, you can see now we have something called this folder called with the app.js file, okay? And it gives you, it just says you, gives you like attention, okay? And it gives you this random code, okay? This random code that personally, if you're not very careful, you would understand, okay? But simply Webpack simply bundles our JavaScript into the very fast browser compatible code, okay? The like for browsers like IE, Internet Explorer, okay? So that's why in our case you can see that you have this unreadable code, okay? It's unreadable, okay? Because having a lot of slashes, having a lot of lots of like it's quite shorted, okay? So because right now if you check our source, we have that thing exactly there, okay? So for example, if I say maybe let's install something, let's install something, uh, let's install moment. Okay, let me say, so remember using some webpack, I say npm again, install moment, okay? So moment is also a library, okay? For time, okay? So for it's usually used for time. So I can say moment here, moment, pull a moment, I it's downloading, moment, JS, okay? Moment JS here, moment JS. I think I know it, my moment JS is what? It's a library for time, okay? So moment, it allows us to deal with time, okay? Things like formatting time, all that, okay? And you see, it can help us to format data, okay? So maybe for example, I can grab this, maybe I can grab some, maybe this function here, okay? This one here, okay, I'm going to use it somewhere. So how to use moment in our project? Remember, I want to use moment in our project. I'll simply import because it's already ready. Okay, so you say import, okay, import moment, okay, from moment, okay, moment. Okay. Yes, and now you can do something like this, okay, moment format, okay, something like that, okay. And if you want, you can read about the recommendation of the library moment to understand how it works, okay. In my case, I'm just showing you examples of how you can use different libraries, okay. So now if you check our app, this is okay. If you check back our, maybe minimize this. If you check back our app, it's a bit smaller, okay. Our app, it has like a very few lines, okay. It has maybe only 32 lines of code, okay. But now since I've already installed moment, I've already put a moment, okay. And now if I run again and run npm start, okay, it's going to run again, compile my code and bundle it, okay. See now it has taken some bit of time, okay. But now if you check my code again, my app.js file, I'm having this line of code, like line 18, quite a very long file, okay. It's very long and it's very shortened, okay. Won't be defined, okay. So this uh this code, okay, rather this app.js file, okay, it's modified code, okay, which Webpack has already bundled for us and has compiled it, okay. It has made it to work with all browsers, okay. And you can see if I open up my HTML file here in the browser, I'll open up in the browser real quick. Yeah, okay. Of course, there's nothing there, and maybe look at something here in the console. Where is it here? Index. I can say, let's log out. Okay, log out this weird line of code. Okay, this one here. Control copy. Go to X rather. Control V. Okay, and format and see what it gives us. Okay, because here, refresh the page. Right click, inspect. Okay, then check the console. Okay. Let me see why is it connected. Go to you. This script. Oh, supposed to be source. Sorry about that. Supposed to be source. So inside my HTML page here, it's supposed to be src, not script. src. Okay. I save this. And of course, when I open up my browser here, back to here, my browser, refresh the page, inspect. I should see console here. Okay, why it's not showing? Let's look at something. Let's look at something else. Okay. Need to look. Let me see if I log out. I see. Oh, there's a mistake here. Let's check there. This also log out. Hello, just to be sure. Okay. Everything works. Then you can check for the last time. Refresh the page. Wait. Okay. This change. I think I need to change this to development. Okay. I change this configuration from development. Just remember the configuration for development. Okay. Let me see npm start and see if it works out. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Let's check. Okay, let's check if it has worked out. Refresh the page here. Okay. If you can see now, I think it was due because when you're in development, it compiles it differently when you are in production. Okay. So most of the times, if you run link it as HTML code, you can run it in production. Okay. But I'm going to look at how to configure it and run the code in production, and still shows you everything. Okay? In my case, you can see here, I've already printed out the date, okay, the time, and the hello thing, okay, together. And I'm using moment, okay. Moment is a library used to format date, okay. Because when you deal with dates in JavaScript, they can get a bit hectic, okay. That's why it's moment, okay. When you deal with making like a nice front end page, like front end, JavaScript can get hectic. That's why we need React, okay. That's why we need Angular if you have a bigger project. If you have maybe have complicated things like dealing with data APIs, that's why we need Axios, not Fetch. Okay. So so for the others, things like uh, Passo bundler or Passo, it's simple. For Passo bundler, because I think I've already talked about Webpack. Webpack is one of the most complicated, rather, but also one of the most awesome libraries. Okay. So for if you're dealing with maybe for Passo bundler, you simply say npm something install. Let me right. Let me just check the actual spelling of Passo bundler. Okay. So it's Passo bundler. So npm install Passo bundler.
Sorry,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
sorry, I can interrupt you a bit.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I think you sort of lost me somewhere and moved a bit fast, but is Moment also a bundler?
Sorry. Okay. So moment is not a bundler. Moment is a library, just like React, just like Express, just like
Oh,
Axios. Okay?
okay.
Yeah. So moment is
Then what
is
about the web?
so Webpack is the bundler. Okay. So Webpack is a
Okay.
bundler.
Then
Webpack, yes.
then again, I saw like you installed Webpack CLI, or did it just appear on its own? Because the last I checked, you had installed npm install Webpack.
Okay. So
But
other
when
also
I look
ran.
at your package.json,
So other is because
there you have a
Webpack.
Webpack CLI.
Yeah. So Webpack CLI is necessary for us to run Webpack. Okay. So Webpack CLI provides us with
Okay.
the command line interface or a bunch of commands to use to run Webpack. Okay. So I installed Webpack. I installed both of
Okay.
these. Okay. Yeah. So if you check the chat, I've showed you I've installed
So if I
Webpack.
install them,
Yes.
if I only install the Webpack, how do I get CLI?
The same thing. Yes. Simply install. Same thing. The way you have installed
Like I
Webpack.
did.
You did. So you can do npm install
Okay,
Webpack.
so the command would be yes,
npm
yes.
install Webpack dash CLI. Yeah. Let me just
Oh,
total the
okay.
command here down. Yeah. Yeah. So the command is npm install Webpack dash CLI. Okay.
And you said
Okay.
the CLI is what helps us with the Webpack.
Yeah, it's what we run here. Okay, when we run this command called start Webpack, it helps us
Start.
run. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps us add more commands.
Got it.
Okay, things
Thank you.
like that. Yeah, like dash dash dev, dash dash mode, development or production, all that. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, so for that maybe since people have questions like this, let's just leave you with Webpack. Okay, Webpack. Maybe just push it off GitHub real quick. So this I can't forget Git over time Git. Oh, yeah. It was adding the what was it adding? It was adding the underscore. It was adding the other bodies. Okay, over time. Good. So Git add. Okay. Git commit. Okay. Body bundler. Okay. Git push. Sub consolidate sequence upstream. Let's do this real quick. What's that? So I've pushed around GitHub, okay? So you can look at different commands, but of course I told you guys before, when it comes to Webpack, you have to install it with a D, okay? So let me just do this. Yes, while you're doing it here, okay? Let me just change this one too. That, okay? Better, because I'll be doing with Git to handle that for me. Okay. Good. So we have looked at Webpack for today. So for other bundlers, maybe I will maybe share with you the links to different bundlers, which I want us to look at, which is Passo bundler. So okay, yeah. So I'm going to actually upload this over the weekend. Tomorrow I'll upload this video uh, for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll upload the videos for last time, and then share this for your question. So for the other bundlers, there's Webpack, sorry, there's Passo bundler. There's also Snowpack. Just look at them, okay? Look at them and try them out, but just try it out. Just try it out. Just control your machine. It works out, then you can leave it, okay? It's a good practice to have more information, okay, on different things, okay? But for now, we'll be using Webpack most in our projects, okay? Because I think Webpack is robust and it's hard to work with. So sometimes confusing you with other bundlers can get you overwhelmed. Okay, so be using Webpack, and I think we'll have like a whole session on Webpack alone. Okay, how to configure Webpack, different configurations. Okay, good. Okay, so the questions coming up. The questions coming up. So if you have questions, like the way Pauline did, Pali did, please do say so. Questions regarding anything here, because I have talked quite too much. And as I said before, I'm not a preacher, so please do ask questions. Okay?
Sorry.
Yes, Mercy.
That dist folder I saw there, it comes when you've run that command, the command in the script.
Yes. So when I run this command,
Mm.
let me just put this up. This command of uh, npm start, okay? npm start, which starts Webpack, okay? It will go ahead and look at my folder structure, look for the Webpack config.js file, check and say what is the entry point. The point is this folder called source/index.js. Then what's output? Output is maybe just check it just be this, okay? Because this is like a way of resolving paths in Node, but just know in your mind something as the folder called this, okay? So the file name called app.js, okay? So yeah, maybe I can just maybe I can say the path is simply this, okay? Here like this. But I'll check this like this dot slash, okay? So it will simply go to this folder called dot slash dist, then it got a file called app.js, okay? That's why when you check our dist folder, which was created for us, okay, automatically, you're seeing the app.js file, okay? And this app.js file has a modified code, okay? It has like all this weird code which is modified, okay? Because it's optimized for production.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So that file is what's the file in that dist folder. That's what's going to be used in production, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why when I came to my index.js file, so index.html file, I linked it like scripts src dot slash disk slash app.js, okay? And if I click here, if I control click, I just go direct to that file, okay?
Okay.
Yes. But we're going to look at how you can do this in production, because when you're running HTML, you're running it in the actually the HTML file is run, okay? It's always run in production, okay? All the HTML files is run, okay? It's in production, okay? Yeah, so we're going to look at how we can do this in development, okay? Later on, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes, I'm waiting. Questions? Go ahead. Shoot. Okay. Yes. Okay. So on Monday, we are going to begin React. Okay. And for the first time, I'm going to manually configure React. Okay. For the first 20 minutes, see how hard it is to configure React. Then you're going to look at something called a create React app. For those who want to read ahead, you can read about create React app, okay? Try it out. Just read it and see, okay? And also for some reference, those who want to look at how to configure different browsers, maybe in ahead of time, let's look at this very website, which is just helps you configure a webpack for different libraries. Just gives you maybe a starter file, makes things easy for yourself. Create app.dev, okay? It will help you out to to at least have like a boilerplate, okay, for everything. That's I maybe show you the stuff. It just shows you Webpack, shows you Passo, shows you a Snowpack. But now it has one of these three. But just look at the configuration. It can show you like different like the entry points, maybe like how your package just looks like, how your json.config looks like. Okay, so as your webpack config.js looks like. Okay, if I put React, it will change. Okay, if I put React here, it might change. Okay, adds more complexity to the webpack config. If I say I want to use TypeScript, still to increase and change. Okay, maybe I want to say I want to use SAS, see to add more things. Okay, if I want to use maybe images, PNGs, it will be change. SVG it will also change. Okay, utilities, if I want this moment, it will change. Okay, everything at least gives you like a hint on some things. Okay, although sometimes it may not work. Okay, sometimes you have to change some configurations. Okay, here and here. Okay, but mostly if you just click on React without TypeScript, so with TypeScript it works. Okay, this works. Okay? This works out. I know it works out because I've tried it before. And also maybe just a note for this Babel RC file, all the single quotes should be double quotes. Okay, double quotes here. Also the body should be double quotes. Those are it. Okay, because I think everything has to be double quotes, double quotes, double quotes, double quotes, everything apart from false. Okay, so all the words have to be double quotes. Okay, that's all I hit. Okay, maybe you may have some errors. Okay, with this, but remember all the stuff have to be double quotes. Okay, double quotes, double quotes, double quotes here, double quotes, double quotes. Okay, with double quotes here. Okay, just to avoid the errors. Okay, so yes, all. Okay, you can see that this config almost something as we looked at last time. You can try that. Okay, I'll tell you which command to run. Okay, and also I think also there's also for parcel here. Okay, for parcel has less configurations. Snowpack also has less configurations. So there are different setups. Okay, just look at it, try it out. Okay, then on Monday we'll look at this. Okay, we'll look at this, how to configure it. Okay, manually. And the example I'm going to be taking from is from here. Okay, because this is the same thing that I'll be getting from the official website of Webpack. Okay, so let's take questions. No more questions. Okay, since we have no questions, I'm going to leave you. Please enjoy your weekend. And those guys who are going to be drinking, drink responsibly.